Hello and welcome back to Jack Knives Reviews. I'm of course your host, Jack Knives. Today we'll be continuing into the new DCU with Supergirl. Kara Zor-El, coming to terms with her life, goes with her dog Krypto to various planets with a red sun, taking away her awesome abilities. On one of these planets, a young blacksmith's daughter named Ruthie has her whole family killed by a ruthless bandit named Krem, who also poisons Krypto. Now it is a race against time to stop Krem and save Krypto. When we were first introduced to this character at the end of Superman, it was as this kind of party girl, drunk character, whatever. And so going into this, the expectation for the character was that she was going to be probably partying, then sombering up, then becoming, more mature as time went on. She kind of does, but not really until the very end, but I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. The movie was directed by Craig Gillespie, and he has a very random assortment of films he's had under his belt as a director. There's a couple of art films he's made that I actually liked, like Lars and the Real Girl, I, Tonya, and for better or for worse, I kind of dig Cruella because it was a reinterpretation of a different character, despite the fact that we know the character is terrible. So I thought, well, that's kind of weird to have a first-time action director being the director of this. A lot of his roles and works are primarily in the music video genre, so I was kind of like, okay, maybe I might be overthinking it. But then the bigger issue came with the writer, Anna Negheri. Anna Negheri has only ever really worked in television, primarily working in things like The Blacklist, Vampire Diaries, a few other more, shall we say, tween dramas. Again, you have two people making this movie who not only have never worked in action, but have especially never worked in a superhero capacity. It kind of felt like, to me, it was kind of out and about, doomed to fail. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say it's terrible, it's horrible, or anything like that, because there is some charm to it, but unfortunately, the execution is just all over the place. It's not sure whether or not it wants to be a fun space adventure romp, a drama heavy with about a person's past, or if it wants to be just a fun, quirky movie about a girl with superhero powers. And this movie does a thing that I refer to as Doctor Whoing. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Doctor Who, basically, space alien can regenerate, has technology that could basically help him out of any situation. But almost every episode of Doctor Who, especially standalone adventures, it's 9 times out of 10, especially in the classic era, they somehow find a way to get rid of his tech, get rid of his stuff that would basically help him solve every problem. They basically overpowered the character, so they're like, okay, well, we can't take away his powers, so let's basically deactivate his stuff. And this entire movie is that. The entire movie is, let's find a way to depower this girl who is so overpowered. Instead of what it should have been, which is a movie about a person who was trying to figure out their powers, or a person who was trying to figure out the overwhelming strength that they have with their powers, or multiple things they could have done with this character. And the main villain is so cut, dry, simple, paint by numbers. We're supposed to hate him, but we don't know him at all, so it's kind of hard to hate someone you don't really care about. Millie Alcock plays Supergirl, and her version of Supergirl is very much a reluctant hero from A to Z. The entire movie, she's a reluctant hero. She doesn't want to be like her cousin. She doesn't want to be a hero. She doesn't really want her powers. She's kind of just stuck in the situation that she's in. And I wish they kind of would have done more with that, and that we, as an audience, could have seen more from that. But it doesn't really do much with it. It kind of just
stops. I think that's one of the things that irritates me the most. Like, there's no real reason why she can't help people. There's no real reason why she doesn't want to help people. She just doesn't feel like it. And that kind of bugged me. From what they said, she landed on Earth at 16 and she's turning 23. That's 7 years of her going through this stuff. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, why are you still this mopey after all of this time? Needless to say, obviously she's no like Melissa Benoist, but Melissa Benoist in the Supergirl series was a lot more peppy, I guess is the great word to put it. She was very more like happy and upbeat. And we know she probably had a lot of struggles arriving on Earth and things like that, which we later see in the series. But comparing Melissa Benoist to Millie Alcock is not fair because they're two completely different beasts, television and movies, and we get more time with a television performance than we do with a movie performance. Now, there are parts in the movie I really, really loved. I thought, especially like with the action sequences, they were fun. They were interesting. I thought Jason Momoa's Lobo was as accurate as I could expect, and it was great. But he also felt kind of tacked on in the movie and didn't really need to be there other than for kind of levying situations and making things a little better. So I guess, yeah, in a way he was kind of necessary now that I think about it. There's this girl that we're introduced to named Ruthie, who had her parents killed in the beginning of the movie, and she's played by Evie Ridley, and I've never seen her before. She's a nice young up-and-coming actress, and she does a good job with the material that she's given. But I'm also like, she doesn't need to be here. This kind of feels like a B plot, but it's the main plot. I don't know. There were things about it that just felt off. I liked that the special effects were really, really well done, especially seeing aspects of aliens, space adventure, action sequences, powers, weapons, all that stuff was really cool. But again, it just felt kind of, I don't know what the word to put it as, I guess just tacked on. The whole movie felt kind of just there. I don't know. It just felt off, and I think because of that, me and a lot of people could not enjoy it proper. It wasn't bad, it just didn't feel like it even came close to the standard that's Superman's. I think because of that, I can't really give it a huge recommendation. But it is fun and worth watching. I wouldn't necessarily say it's worth watching in theaters, but it is fine for what it is.
I give Supergirl 3.5 out of 5.
Have you seen Supergirl? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to stab that subscribe button and slice that like button, and I'll see you next time.